Thank you, Cap and Avery. Appreciate that. Gaimin Gladiators versus Talon for game number 2. And as we have heard from several people now,
yes,
the bristleback is the talk of the town here in Riyadh. As dyrachyo picking for a second time this tournament. 100% win rate with exactly 1 game played. We did cast that game.
We did. The Yatoro, man.
It was... Wait, dyrachyo didn't play it?
It was Yatoro.
It was? All right.
It was not
Some
them.
other random position 1 for maybe a team that's
very
in the
good
finals right now. Will have won that game in the past, but we're going to be seeing it on dyrachyo, so maybe...
Did you actually think it was him?
I actually thought it was him, yeah.
Well,
that's right.
Luckily you have me, who actually has a brain.
Thank God.
As honestly, I kind of like this bristleback pick. I think in the later stages of these tournaments, you need to bust out some more like crazier stuff and kind of be confident, because Talon's Lycan pick honestly was incredibly dirty. I didn't like the Beastmaster response too much, so I think that put more pressure on dyrachyo to try and fight back. Like, you need this big, fat wall to eventually fight back into the Lycan in the mid game, and I think that dyrachyo on the bristleback, he could do that.
Do you think he will do that?
Yes. I think he will stand his ground for a while, but the thing is later, if Talon get ahead, or 23 is top net worth at like 25, 30 minutes, it's not going to be the best scaling for Gaimin as Ace.
Yeah, destruction coming out to try to save him. There's a lot of damage being applied to Ollie by tOfu, so nice save from the Shadow Demon here. We talked about, or I shouldn't say we, I guess as a collective group, we
yes.
did talk. Anything Smart said, we could say we, even though it was the panel. Talked about how Shadow Demon fares against the TB.
Yep.
But yeah, this is going to be a very cool game because the IO, again, has 2... I mean, they did lose game 1, but he has 2 targets that you could theoretically want to actually tether. As Ace getting chased by 23, another disruption comes out. tOfu, I mean, side of Gaimin Gladiators are running out of steam here a little bit here in this early game.
Just honestly, Beastmaster doesn't really lane all that well against TB, as we have some pressure down bottom. But what Gaimin have going for them, I would say, is that all 3 cores will do fairly well. You're gonna stack for Beast with your SD later. Quinn is gonna do well mid. You have bristleback bottom against Lycan, which means you can kind of leave him alone later and try to play more through Quinn this game, which last game, that did not really work because Mikoto, he put on hell of a show.
Yeah. Okay, I know this is very, well, Metamorphosis popped by 23 Savage, forcing tOfu out. Use a Blood Grenade and a Fairy Fire to kind of cancel each other out. And 23 Savage getting chased in the meantime. As Ace, Axis coming up, he's going all in for this potentially.
Not enough.
Does clip him with only 1, and now he's going to take massive damage from Ollie and company. We'll be able to use a stick to get enough HP to get away.
Reflection. Oh, there's so much back and forth in this lane.
Yeah, who will get first blood? Will it even be this lane? That's the twist in this story.
I mean, they're very low in regen. No healing salves on Radiant.
Mikoto's courier died. That's a mid laner's courier dying. That is
to
not
the enemy mid
common,
laner.
right? Yeah.
Just ran it in there.
Interesting.
But yeah, you have a lot of back and forth up here. I would say the hardest time for Gaimin are the first 2 minutes as Lotus fight. Well, looks like it's going to be very easy for Talon, so they get themselves a Lotus on themselves.
Yep. The other Lotus, Seleri really wants it. Q. We'll be able to channel it first, though. Okay, this is going to be a record for you. I'm going to mention a record for me. I'm going to mention the Tormentor at 3 minutes, Kazu.
What the Why? Why?
All right, I'm just theory crafting here, okay? On the Gaimin Gladiator side, they have to win early, right? We've established this.
Yes. Are you making a win condition where they kill both Torbies or what?
Well, I'm saying that their supports, their shards are actually pretty important. The IO shard, they picked another hero that can take advantage of both aspects of the shard, right? The spell lifesteal and whatnot.
True.
And the Shadow Demon,
with
cleanse, can theoretically, if played well, take off the global silence.
If you pop, there's an Ollie TP coming out.
Yeah, that's pretty early. dyrachyo still linked up by Seleri, who's actually quite healthy himself.
Another blood grenade.
Blood grenades being used in quick succession onto dyrachyo, trying to get to the high ground. He will live for the time being as these supports continue to hound him. Speaking of hounds, these wolves on their way as well to poke a bit. Seleri
another tether.
Blocked.
dyrachyo, run away, bro.
They could just chill and re-tether now. As the Soul Ring coming out for dyrachyo.
Well, I guess 23 isn't really being pressured too much in the meantime. Oh, good lift back as the Wolves are still here.
This is wasting a lot of time, though.
I mean, this is
everyone.
It's giving Jabz is like the biggest winner from all of this, right? Because he's getting to recover, but he only just now got over 10 CS as Quinn, mauling from the last game, pushing it back on Mikoto, actually bringing him back into the base. And this time around, I would say Gaimin's ball is way stronger. It's easier for them to play through Quinn, and it's easier for them to also leave the dyrachyo alone.
Quill sprays continue to get stacked on these two members of Talon. They bolt onto Seleri. Telekinesis back though, and Seleri gets caught out under the tower. Dyrachyo, he's only 300 away from Vanguard, but Seleri's going to have to be a bit more careful in the future.
I mean, that's a huge... You do not want to be the ones dying first, and giving first blood to heroes that will snowball, like your Beastmasters, Lycans, and what have you. Jabz going to be incredibly happy with this first blood as Gaimin. Quite a big mistake there.
And Quinn's going to get a bottle refill from Seleri now that he died. That's the only reason he ended up feeding himself.
True, of course.
We can see the mid lane for Mr. Quinn, 35-5 versus Mikoto, who's 27-5. So advantage Quinn so far is the 6-minute rune, 20 seconds away.
This time
I don't see any rotations coming from Talon as of yet.
Yeah, their supports are not the best at kind of contesting mid, and yeah, I would say the biggest difference is that it's harder for them to play through mid this time, but Ace though in trouble.
Yeah, telekinesis.
Sticks are available.
Nice disruption. Keep the meta man at bay, but the last right click is enough as Ace will be dropped. 3 members up here for Talon. Quinn will secure the shield rune.
I mean, I love that nowadays when you play Lycan, you just go Howl. Where's that poison nearly gets Q dead? Because your Howl is just global. You just globally removed 4 armor from Ace here to help 23 as he's being chased a little bit. Do get out an aggressive ward, but yeah, I mean, dyrachyo, he's just going to be living life down here. These guys are just going to ignore each other and get some CS.
Yeah, so the game that we saw from Yatoro on the Bristleback, he went for Vanguard, Treads, and then immediate Aghanim Scepter.
I mean, Axe is still very good in this game. I assume that you don't really want to skip that. Even though you're playing into silences, a Lycan form, and global, I think we're just going to be seeing the same stuff.
By the way, he never made fun of me or secured what I was saying about the Tormentors at 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was really stupid. I like how at 3 minutes in the game...
That's all I can think about, man.
Oh, man.
The Tormentors are so important. The pros will eventually understand my genius.
Yeah, you need to go see a doctor. In 12 minutes, we can talk about it.
Dr. Habibi.
Dr. Habib.
Oh. Coil coming out from Mikoto. Dyrachyo's going to snap it right off the bat. He's getting blocked as well. Telekinesis back. He looks to be mega dead here. It's Dyrachyo. Early death for him. But this gives some space for Quinn to diabolic edict the tower. And
there's no glyph available. They already used it earlier, now with the overcharge. So you do kill Dyrachyo, which 23 let him cook. It's going to be stacked up with Axis and Poison. Seems like it's going to be A-okay.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Has his treads in tow now.
How many stacks we got in the Radiant Triangle? Because when Ace plays Beastmaster, I feel like this team is the dirtiest team when it comes to stacking and bringing him into the game. So for now, more so playing through Quinn, but I'm expecting these stacks to go up as tOfu does get the top one, and Quinn is going to get the active Runaroni.
Yeah, it feels like before this tournament, that was their meta, if you will, their main strategy to get all this farm on Ace and get all the stacks. They haven't really done that too much this tournament, but Quinn able to find Mikoto. As Dyrachyo, I mean, that's we did mention this the other day as well. This hero is able to be left alone. That's a nice, juicy solo XP. I mean, he did die once, but it still takes a lot of effort from Talon to actually kill him.
I mean, I think this kind of shows you the reason why they picked it and why it's good. Even though he died once, he can go to the lane and do the same thing again as 23. He wants to put a stop to this as we have a casual reflection. But Dyrachyo, I think he's just going to be kind of lingering around. Like, if he positions himself in this tower and gets to turn around, it's not easy for Talon to take this over.
See the top 2 net worths on the side of Gaimin Gladiators, so they do have a 3. Didn't look at that number for a while. 3K lead just a moment ago.
They just cleared like through some stacks with Quinn, who has 5K net worth at 9. I feel like Gaimin should definitely defend this. Like, we've seen it before, where if you get to hold your safe lane tower, the enemy's map is just kind of really disgusting and hard to play. And with a TB Lycan, you need that, as we have a coil.
Coil expended just for support. tOfu getting chased now by Jabz and company. He is in his wolf form, getting up the disruption to save himself for the time being. It actually might be enough. The illusory orb, though, enough from Mikoto to take him out. But now the rest of the cavalry have arrived from the Gaimin Gladiators side. It will be a trade of supports.
Still kind of a pretty decent play for 23 as he goes down bottom, forces them all there. Now he gets to go top, so feels a little bit better about that, but Gaimin just quick, kind of on the rotation back here, and 10-minute rune. I feel like this time around, you know, Mr. Quinn, he's gonna give himself all the active runes in this game.
Yeah, this is the normal Quinn experience.
As Gaimin is watching.
Nope.
Oh, he's not.
Other side. And Mikoto, he might be able to steal this now with the orb. Should be enough. And
easy steal.
Is. Nice job from him. So he has Treads working on the Witchblade right now. And Vanguard online for Ace. Definitely later than he would have liked. But in terms of the farm between the two offlaners, the Lycan and Beastmaster, pretty even overall.
So I was wondering if he's going to go Vanguard into the Crimson, but looks like he doesn't feel like they need much more like on the aura side. So he's just going to go Axe to make himself more tanky. So kind of playing this Tricore, which, yeah, I would be kind of okay with. I think Crimson Guard is still good, but if he's not going to get it now, I don't think he'll get it later either.
He's expecting that early Tormentor to come out so that Io can get the shard and then link to him instead of the other two heroes that are clearly better.
So they have
up his 23 Savage.
Oh, 23,
gets gone on by Quinn. The splitter is not going to hit, though. He gets sundered. And now he has to try to run away, although 23 Savage back to the amount of HP that he had earlier. And Quinn ends up getting taken out by Mikoto's rotation, and that's a big double kill for him.
That's a rare...
Punished really hard.
Yeah, a rare whiff there by Quinn. As 23 gets to sidestep it and just get to turn it around with a double kill.
Yeah, the tier 1 tower will live as a result, and dyrachyo, he's solo pushing his tier 1. So he's not too sad about the state of affairs. Has the point booster already into his Aghanim Scepter to come.
Unless they expand 4 to 5 heroes. I think dyrachyo ain't dying as 23 this time. Hello.
Yep, he's spotted. Ace looking for the opening on the roar. They will get it. And this time, no Sunder for Mr. 23 Savage. He'll be Pulse Nova down, and now the tier 1 should fall.
Just this early, this time around, it's a GG train. They get to kind of go, like, look where dyrachyo is playing. Takes the tier 1 tower, is now stealing the enemy Ancients while they killed the Talon carry up top. They are pinning him now, though. There's body blocks.
He's going to walk right through. Hurricane back in. Should be fine. Okay, not to bring up the Tormentor again.
But the Tormentor, yeah.
Do you know if Bristle can solo Tormentor? If his back is turned, just continue to get stacks of Quill Spray? Feels like a hero that might be able to do it. Which adds to this great strategy that I've created.
I don't know if the Tormentor is going to trigger the Bristleback, because if it does, maybe he can. If it doesn't, then he cannot.
Well,
but why not just use Io and do it with 2 heroes? Because then it works.
Because it's cooler this way.
Oh God! Someone help me,
please.
If
we see that, then you're gonna walk away from this cast, mid-cast. Okay? If I'm right on everything, you're done.
If you will do it alone with, his back turn.
You're retiring.
Okay, I will retire from casting with you.
dyrachyo. Gonna use that fortification in that bot lane as Quinn and company trying to catch up. The full form is there. Ollie popped the global silence. He's completely out of mana now. And Q and Jabz showing themselves on the side here, but they're gonna go down that little narrow pathway, which we have yet to name.
Bridge.
Okay, the bridge. Don't like that.
What? Make up a better one. You have 5 seconds.
Thin pathway.
Okay, you get to retire, you clown. What was that?
That wasn't the agreement.
It was horrible.
Jabz in the trees, does not have his
he's getting
anymore.
snotted.
Yeah, the goos are going to stack up. As Quinn, a nice Hurricane to give him a little bit of distance. Roch on the other side of the tier 2, and now the rotation comes from Talon.
That's a lot of
number
TPs.
1, 23 Savages here as well, with the meta already popped, and now I think Gaimin Gladiators just run away.
Well, this game is not at all the same as last time around. Whenever 23 showed up, they killed Quinn. And they're even lingering now, even though Talon TP'd like half of their team here. Oh, Lightning Storm.
Yeah, Wild Wing finally taken out.
Picking the Tormentor, which is not there yet, of course.
Yeah, they just mistimed it by 6 minutes. 23 Savage still in the meta form, so you have to respect that. And Quinn, they're getting that Wisdom rune.
Oh, the Wisdom. Mikoto.
Ends up being a nice steal. Quinn, pretty low, but he has that Bloodstone, gets the Split Earth onto 23 Savage.
There's still a Sunder.
There is a Sunder available, waiting for the last moment. We'll use it onto Quinn, but the Roar comes after, and now he's very susceptible and will drop shortly after. Okay, Mikoto going in with a big coil.
He got him.
Able to get one. It is the Lesh, so very important target. Can they follow it up with anything else as Ace continuing to get these stacks of the Wild Axes, which were stolen. Ooh. He's able to TP out, though.
dyrachyo?
As dyrachyo just starting to go real ham, getting out that Rubik. Mikoto and company Doing a good job of kiting as Seleri on the outskirts of this fight. Mikoto trying to finish him off, but the quill sprays are starting to stack up, just like they would on this Tormentor if they would go for it in 6 minutes. Mikoto getting the illusory orb off.
A new wolf
I
form.
think that's enough distance to be able to get away from the
dyrachyo?
big bad bristleback. Seleri has the relocate available, in good position, will be able to get it off.
Looks like Gaimin want to take this fight once again, because so far, Talon should be pretty happy with what happened here. Like, when you get to trade kills kind of evenly, even if you lose your carry, like, they got a lot of XP out of this. Wolf form was expanded, and maybe Gaimin just want to go straight back to it.
Yeah, and that gives some opportunity for dyrachyo to pick up some of the components of his eventual Aghanim Scepter. Only 400 away now. And for the side of Talon, I mean, it feels like, we're going to watch this replay before I speak.
About the Tormentor, so it's good.
You can see the Tormentor not up yet, Kazu. Pay attention.
Thank you. I mean, the Sunder here very good, as Q got a very crucial steal mid-fight here on these axes, where he just gets to keep spamming it up. Mikoto was stealing the enemy Wisdom Rune, and then comes over to get the most crucial kill of the entire game on Quinn here, with all his spells into the coil. As we go back live,
coil.
And Ace is dead.
Absolutely. Nice kill from Talon, but they need a lot more than this. They are down 5k, and it feels like the panel kind of illustrated how this game was going to go potentially, and feels like very aggressive from Gaimin. They want to push early. What can Talon do to defend?
Talon need to delay the game. You want to have Mikoto run down side lanes and just keep pushing them in. You want to have your Lycan here on Jabz also push it out and just make space in this game, because they need time. Like, dyrachyo has Ags. You're playing into Io Mech, Bloodstone Lash. You're playing into Ace, who is going Vanguard Aghanims as well. Like, they have all these mid-game item timings where if you're Talon, if you feed into this and drop all your towers, I honestly think the entire map will just go to shit for you.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing a little bit of that right now, is even the Ags for Ace is getting closer. He's definitely separated himself from the Lycan a bit more than was earlier because of these fights that they've been having, as the Helm of Overlord just about to be picked up from Jabz, so that's going to be a pretty good power spike for them.
They're going for a smoke. Global not the best against Lesh, as the spells will continue to run through, but they have this ward on Ace.
Kill. Yeah, he's 400 away from Ags. This would be a very nice kill for Talon. They're going to find him. He's going to get Hurricane back onto the low ground. He gets off his roar, but dies shortly after. Is Quinn showing up as well?
Careful.
And Talon, they're going to try to fight this through. Global. The coil is there. Global to follow. Still linked up by Seleri, getting out that Bloodstone as well, but not life-stealing too much. 2 cores dead for Gaimin Gladiators, and now Seleri might be next on the list, but he does get the tether onto his fellow support.
Crucial for him to stay alive there on the IO, but Talon striking back. Gaimin did not expect this play, but like, Ace TP's top, and they have this very good ward here on the Talon side to just go there and force the fight. Like, you have this 10,000 net with Bristleback, but they're not using him too well, at least not in the last 2 minutes. But he's chilling down here, but you're on the complete other side.
Yeah, that feels like the hero if you're going to fight. Well, I guess Gaimin Gladiators didn't want to fight, but
yeah, they got caught off guard more.
Instead of just waiting for the push to come, they take the aggressive attitude, and it works out for them because net worth-wise, it's effectively even. dyrachyo does have the Aghanim Scepter though, and the Vampire Fangs as well on him.
I mean, Gaimin were in an incredible position, and they're still ahead now, as dyrachyo actually bought the shard himself, which is pretty good. Got the dirty hairball, of course.
Yep, it's a good one.
Forcing Q to TP out, but this play from Talon just now like saved their entire mid game. Gaimin do not have another mistake like that in them.
Ollie, he horses himself onto the goat. I mean, the literal animal. The literal
goat. Animal goat, yeah. Mikoto.
Although Quinn has been playing like the goat this year, is Mikoto doing exactly what you said, pushing these lanes, try to delay to get to this very juicy late game that Talon do have.
They have very good heroes in order to delay the game, right? You've got the summons from your Lycan, you have the elusive Puck as well, against not the most pressure on the map too, and against all these relocates, you can always just global. So Talon are gonna play the clock here.
Oh, they actually want to go on dyrachyo. He's gonna snap the coil right off the bat. He has a lot of dispel lifesteal.
I think you can do anything to this
I don't think so. So that's coil down. Biting off a little bit too much to chew for Talon. This stage of the game, at least.
This guy has 2,500 HP, and the Vampire Fangs at this stage in the game, they matter a lot. I would assume, from Gaimin's side, they must be talking about speeding up the game. Take it here to force the Roche and continue to strike down.
Yeah, and I would assume a silver edge at some point will come for 23 Savage.
Yeah. Probably
to break this bristle.
It's going to take a while more. He's just going to want other items. Looks like for now he's just going for the very classic Skadi. Skadi timing, and he's got the Satanic queued up next. And I must say that if Jabz gets through this mid game, which currently not the best game on the Lycan, but still doing well, you offer a lot of aggressive potential against heroes like Bristleback, AC Aura, aggressive Howl with the minus armor as well. Mikoto.
And he's spotted by the orb.
I just find a free kill.
Looks like he will, but a relocate is coming. Global silence suspended to be able to cancel that. All you can do to save your mid laner, you have to, or else he'll be very mad at you.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mikoto again.
One tower pretty low as well.
It's a 404 right now on this puck. Mikoto once again putting on a very kind of flawless performance so far. Wolf form was baited or forced out rather. But Talon just staying close. And I gotta let you know, as I have 100% win rate already on Talon. If the game is even,
Gaimin knows.
Gaimin knows what's happening. But if the game is even, like in TB, mid to late game scaling is nasty.
Yeah. So you mentioned that that Gaimin Gladiators needed to have a sizable lead at about this time. They don't.
They don't.
They do have Aegis though.
Yes. It's like these
and they haven't really tried to actually fight yet.
Yeah, the next couple minutes are incredibly crucial for them here, because even though they're not far ahead, you have the Aegis and the kind of position where if you can make a good play, you take these other towers and land a successful smoke, you will put yourself in a position where you want to be in. But Jabz, he kind of understands the memo of the game. He goes Shard to help your team with the laying of the game and everything. You have 23 Savage putting out illusions. Mikoto looks like he might just go around and cut some more waves. So Gaimin, knock knock, the timer is going to be closing on you.
dyrachyo and company trying to get another outer tower. This is going to be the first tier 2. And even though it is 22 minutes, this is a lineup that definitely wanted to take one of these sooner. Putting this Aegis to good use, and we'll see if they even... It looks like they will keep going in this lane, knowing that they are on a timer. Backdoor protection is there, though.
There's only one wave, because Mikoto did skip the next one.
Yep, global in 20 seconds. First fortifications there. And you can see the push continuing in that bot lane by the Lycan. Always have to respect that.
Gaimin are... I mean, it's a good choice to try and go high ground and force them back, but I like Talon's response. You cut the next wave. TB, of course, is always online on the map, as Jabz also gets the bottom tier 2 tower. So while you're 5-manning, Talon are getting more and more what they want. I still think dyrachyo is untouchable. You need to treat him like a Medusa. Because look at his damage. Jesus, get the hell out.
Mikoto, he doesn't have an orb. Okay, he's fine. Let's not panic now.
You can see dyrachyo's strength.
Yeah, he just needs to catch up to people.
Ooh, they want to look for a play. I mean,
Talon want to fight. This is against the Aegis.
They find
tOfu.
tOfu.
Yeah, if you can get the supports, that's pretty big. Mikoto doing a lot of damage.
Global's gonna get global.
Global's there. Keep him at base. Jabz coming up. dyrachyo picks up pops his newly picked up BKB. The coil was expended just for the shadow thing. They will get him. It's only a 30-second death timer because it's so early in the game. So global down, meta down. Wolf
Lizard
down. Lizard down. Big reflection coming out from the side of Talon. Actually going to try to fight again as the Bloodstone is activated. And look at the damage being applied to the backline on these supports and the Beastmaster. And Quinn just slowed to a crawl.
Oh, the
He's going to get sundered.
Sunder.
Telekinesis back. That's the Aegis. Feels like Gaimin Gladiators just cannot group up at all right now. Quinn back up and running, but Mikoto again on the sideline, on the back, just destroying Seleri. Might be able to live thanks to this Crimson Guard.
You need to deal with Mikoto.
They lost their Lycan as Seleri and the supports trying to work against this annoying ass puck.
The tree.
Seleri will get Waning Rifted mid-chain there. Telekinesis on to Ace. He's going to use his roar onto this terribly. Does not have Sunder.
Good
Quinn
force.
going to get helped out with that slow from dyrachyo. The Agnes after going to work, but the Splitter was stolen by Q. But they looks like they actually will be able to finally get some kills here.
What's happening?
And they're pretty damn valuable. It's going to be 3 kills now for Gaimin Gladiators. They lose both their supports. That Crimson Guard coming in pretty damn clutch. But Mikoto again continuing to push out these lanes.
Mikoto killed like 3 heroes, I think. He killed tOfu twice in this fight. Seleri once as well as his damage. Yeah, just a casual 7,300 damage on him. I thought Gaimin even had to like back off and help out, but looks like they just get to chase down 23 Savage. Mikoto's level though, kind of monka, up to 18 at 24 minutes.
He is absolutely destroying this game. I mean, that's a 3-level difference between him and Quinn. Of course, Quinn has had a little sidekick attached to him the whole game, but regardless. Now we're going to see some bigger items coming out from the side of Talon. I mean, what are the big power spikes for them to feel comfortable in this game?
Well, with how they've been fighting, honestly, whenever they get to go around and they get the supports with Mikoto first, you go in with Lycan and Global. I think if they find the position to ignore dyrachyo, I think Talon's lineup is online.
Yeah, I think Mikoto has just played brilliantly to the fact that he's been kind of separating these fights into 2 segments where it's just him and the supports and sometimes the Beast. And if you can isolate them, and this lineup is not nearly as powerful from the side of Gaimin Gladiators.
There is an important timing though, like right now, you're still ahead with Gaimin Gladiators and you understand and see that Mikoto could go out of control. So Quinn is queuing up the Hex, which could be the game changer to try and suddenly kill the 7-0 puck. But Mikoto, he's played these matchups before. He knows Quinn has an ultimate orb. I need to buy this Lincoln, so both players kind of knowing exactly what they need to do in this game to try and help their team to win.
Yep, and dyrachyo working towards the Assault Cuirass.
Where's the important question, Shannon? Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Why did neither of them kill the Tormentor yet?
They're idiots.
Okay. Oh, God.
There's Tormentors in the game, for God's sake. Take it!
If you yell loud enough, they might hear you.
Yeah, that's true. Mikoto. Oh,
whoa,
my God!
What
dyrachyo. Is he going to be able to get this kill? No. He pops his BKB, so ends up benefiting Talon. Another BKB charge down for dyrachyo, but my goodness.
Holy sheesh.
He can pack a punch.
Yeah, he nearly 2-shot that guy. So we have Gaimin who, you know, earlier I would say they maybe, I wouldn't say they scaled down, but they're getting a lot of key items once more. The pipe coming out on Ace, which will make it harder for Mikoto to go in this backline and kill some of your supports. And also the AC on dyrachyo, which is just going to help them to play these longer and dragged out fights.
Yeah, recipe away for the AC.
As Jabz will look to get his team his own AC. The Hex completed. I think it's go time here if you're Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, I feel like it's been go time for a while now.
It's mega go time now.
Yeah, each minute that passes is favorable for Talon.
Torment time.
Yeah, 23 Savage and company. They're going to group up. It's going to be shard number 1 for Talon. Is it the save? No, it's the silencer one. I don't think that's the one they would want.
Yeah, I guess the in-steal is cool, but the aggressive effect of this we will not see until 50 minutes in this game when he will have a pirate hat, of course.
Yep. Of course, it does deny Gaimin Gladiators the Tormentor.
There's aggressive Hawks right now as Gaimin they really want this goddamn Mikoto kill with the fresh hacks here on Quinn.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
Can't get him though.
Still not showing in the lane, but they actually are following him. There's a ward that's going to spot the Gaimin Gladiator side. As Mikoto continuing to lead this chase and waste so much time for Gaimin. Man.
Well, dyrachyo did get a mid tier too. As they think Mikoto even went for more, TPing tOfu over, but
oh, is it time?
It's not.
No, it's never time apparently.
I mean, the silencer, I wouldn't say that silencer is like a counter to IO, but if there's not many fights going on and the map is being played like this, then silencer feels very good because every time they want to relocate somewhere, you just global. I mean, Mikoto's just reading them like a book.
Yeah, he is.
Or is he? Yeah, he is.
He's playing as if he can see them on a mini-map! Oh, tOfu, so close. And now Shadow Blade there for 23 Savage. Once he can get that up to a silver edge, they can actually kill this big boy. The coil is there. It's actually going to force a rotation, but the Global Silence comes out to counteract the relocate.
They don't know about the silver edge. It's right there.
Wait, is it an actual silver edge or a Shadow Blade?
It's a completed silver edge, my bro.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, well, that is pretty scary for Gaimin Gladiators. Quinn linked up, gets the sheep.
Good force.
23 Savage is going to be fine. Mikoto jumps in.
dyrachyo, my bro.
dyrachyo super low, forced to use his BKB.
Ah, this looks awkward.
Gaimin Gladiators just cannot take a good fight to save their lives here. And their lives are on the line here at the RIYADH Masters. Mikoto again coming in with a beautiful Waning Rift. Ace and company now on the retreat, but the Scotty's going to slow him to the crawl. Jabz sitting in the back line just ready to eat up these supports as well. Looking for this opportunity now. It's 23 Savage
23,
starting to get
he's
low.
hacked, he's
and he
hacked.
get his Sunder off. No! Down goes the Terrorblade. Huge kill for Gaimin Gladiators as Ollie's next on their list. Dyrachyo basically two-shotting heroes at this point. They find Q, but he's able to telekinesis himself to the low ground. Will they actually continue to chase this? Quinn! Split Earth? No. Sheepstick was on cooldown as well.
Not quite in time, as the aggressive SD purge from tOfu just not allowing 23 Savage to get forced out. So they get the second hex of the fight and they just clean him out. You can just see the power of these auras. They get to keep each other alive for so long. Crimson, Pipe, AC. Mikoto is gonna need a couple more items, as this Pipe is really just blocking so much of this damage.
Yeah, they're gonna find a wild Beastmaster in their jungle.
He's got an
Upside
Ogre
Crimson.
Seal.
Here comes a relocate. No global this time because he's dead. Also
That is
doesn't
true.
have global
Cannot use global if you're dead.
yet.
That's a very good point.
Might be the next buff for this hero. It's a horrible win rate in this tournament, by the way. Just atrociously bad. Like 30% or something.
Was it actually that bad?
Yeah.
I mean, the hero still looks pretty damn solid in some of these games. Second Roshi is alive, as this just looks free for Gaimin.
Yeah, I would consider this, like every Roche, an absolute requirement for Gaimin to actually have a chance to win this game.
I must say, I like some of these items. The fact that dyrachyo is also going for a hex to give yourself like just... They know they need big boy items. Like, you gotta go balls to the wall here, just increase your lead, try to keep pushing forward. You're gonna have a maybe even triple hex as Ace is queuing up a third one.
Okay.
Take these pesky rats out of this map.
Jabz.
Mr. Jabz.
Oh, he gets spotted, he gets sheeped, cancels the TP. Split Earth is there, he does have his ult. Will use it.
Oh,
gets
the combo
telekinesis
wombo.
onto the low ground. He's going to be able to run away. Q in the meantime. They don't have any more disables for him. They were all used onto the Wolfman. And Talon get away again.
What a nice play.
They just cannot catch them ever.
They lifted him over while he's using the wolf form. He just gets to walk it off. Mr. Mikoto gonna continue to do what he does best, which is push in lanes and wait until he can get some good spell usage.
Man, Talon are actually playing so well. And they did, was it yesterday or the day before against Liquid? Day before, I think, right?
2 days ago, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they played exceptionally well in that series as well, despite the loss.
Well, they are carrying the SCA region. That is for damn sure. And they're doing a good job in this game to stay in it and kind of know what they have to play for. Gaimin want to continue to push forward, right? You've got the Aegis. You have at least one Hex. As Ace blinked up a... Ace picked up a Blink Dagger to try and help the map play.
Good effort. So did Seleri, not Seleri, did tOfu buy the shard himself? I guess so, because I would have noticed they took the tournament.
He had it queued up as we have a global... was it against the Relo? It was against the Relocate, okay. Mr. Shannon. You are blind.
It's not on the screen. What do you want me to do?
tOfu,
Ace, Dyrachyo, all onto Jabz right now. He doesn't have his ult for another 3 seconds. 23 Savage with a reflection. Not going to be enough to help out his brother in arms, but Mikoto, he's not afraid. Pipe is going to block a lot of this damage. And now that Coil is down, is that an opening for Gaimin Gladiators? They have to blink now. So the cleanse is there from tOfu. It's kind of a weird, like, it feels like you need to pop it ahead of the global. Basically when, I mean, how would you actually use this? Because if you have like a Lotus Orb or something like that, it's like obviously a lot easier.
Incredibly hard. I think at this point he can't think too much about trying to pop it preemptively. I would say when he gets globaled, he just hopes that he can stay alive through the pipe. Unless maybe like when you go in and you blink hex them and they're gonna global, you can try to pop one on yourself, maybe like that. But I must say that Mikoto's game is not the easiest right now. Sure, he's split pushing and everything, but the auras, the pipes are making it harder. This is generally the time where Puck can fall off a little bit, as he needs like another set of items. Gaimin Gladiators though.
Final tier 2 is down for the side of Talon. And now the high ground defense will commence. 9k lead for Gaimin. Aegis on Quinn. Now we're going to see some big items now picked up as the Sheepstick from Dyrachyo and now a BKB finally picked up by 23 Savage, actually just in time. The Sheep onto the Silencer to start. Quinn getting in a bit deep, already at half
Does
HP.
get purged.
Gonna walk it off. They see that the meta is pop, so maybe they just wait this out.
I mean, this is a pretty good disengage for them. I mean, they also don't have any waves left, so I'm not sure if they need to really linger here, as Mikoto, of course, did kill all of them. But 23, he popped the meta, and there's no call in this game to lower your timing, so this is 2 minutes. for Gaimin, and you already had a hard time playing against their map.
They're going to go mid and push this in for the time being.
Radiant's top tower
But,
is under
I mean, even Jabz has a shard, so it's like every lane.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's complete RNG, but these lanes will constantly get pushed.
Gaimin have two ways pushing in. They're gonna go knock on the high ground here on Talon, right? You have no meta, like the most important spell.
Yeah, meta down for 100 seconds as now dyrachyo can finally hit some buildings. He's going to get the first tier 3 of the game and now focusing on these barracks. There's the fortification from Talon. Does that mean they're actually going to try to defend this?
I don't think they can. Jabz is going to try to do his best Psy impression here with the split push.
Okay, telekinesis onto dyrachyo. He's apparently, he's going to get cleansed. And now Quinn is back in there. But the backdoor protection again.
The wave is coming.
The creep's continuing to get killed, and yeah, it does just a temporary thing there. So they do get the set of racks, and Gaimin Gladiators finally able to do something. They lose their tier 3 in the top lane in the meantime, but feels like that's fine. The way that this game is going, they actually accomplished something. It feels like it's just so hard to push into this Talon lineup.
No, Gaimin are slowly doing very well in terms of like how the map is going. They're slowly pushing up the network lead, and they're getting all these items that just counteract how Talon want to play as. Ooh, Mr. Wolfman. Jabz just barely gets to scrape by there.
And Mikoto, what's he going for next? The Octarine? So basically, the most annoying items you could possibly think of. What would be the next most annoying thing?
He needs Octarine Overwhelming Blink, I think, as Mr.
Dyrachyo,
1, 2, 3.
Okay, easy pickup. There's a buyback there from Q. But now the second tier 3 is in peril. Second lane overall as well. But 23 Savage, he finds
Glimmer.
a lone Seleri.
middle barrack.
Glimmer's going to keep him alive while the cores are working on the base of Talon. This is going to be two sets of racks. They have the cheese.
Dyer's middle
Looks like they'll just be able to get away. So no defense whatsoever from Talon. It's all about pushing the lanes.
I mean, all of this gold is just keeps going into the bank of Gaimin Gladiators here. Like, Quinn is getting incredibly fat. He's got a Shiva, he's got the Hex completed, 4,000 gold, and he's going to spend that on a Blink, so... Because he knows all Talon are trying to do right now is play a map that they want to be called, but you're going to have Blink Hex on 2 heroes very soon with Ace also getting his.
Yeah, and I think at this stage for Gaimin, a lot of it is about buybacks as well.
I mean, Gaimin are just absolutely in the driver's seat. Even if a fight is to break out here, I'm
a little surprised that Talon didn't take that fight by the tier 2 for the mid lane. Because they had the buyback on Rubik, everything was up.
Maybe it was too hard for them to try and get into position as...
Right, maybe it's go time now for Talon. SNY online for 23 Savage.
Well, if they can find dyrachyo here alone, which they probably will, as Willie is scouting him, and of course they can just global to relocate.
Oh, the courier.
He's too fast.
He's going to scout a bit as well. dyrachyo, the TP. Telekinesis cancels. Like the throw ball comes out, the break, but the instant BKB from dyrachyo.
That's a glyph. Relocate.
TPing to a creep. He's getting slowed to a crawl. Going to get nullified as well, but there's the link up from Seleri. The coil comes out, and they're just going to destroy Lesh. Quinn is dead. Seleri is next. A great fight for Talon.
Gaimin.
A little bit of miscommunication there from Gaimin Gladiators.
Oh, they got caught off there. dyrachyo thought he could push the lane and go back, but he could not as he just gets caught off.
And now Talon on the doorstep is Mikoto. Doing puck things. Disruption to start. Just to get some of these illusions online. Actually doing a lot of damage to 23. Turning them against him pretty damn powerful. And I guess that's enough for Talon to have to back away.
tOfu's been having a pretty good game as well. Of course, Mikoto's been trying to assassinate him the whole time around, but Blink, Glimmer, he's got the shard as well, the Psychic Headband on SD. So if he can just keep his range, is dyrachyo gonna pick himself up some 250 gold on his Centaur?
dyrachyo. No way to actually get this sheep off, or the Hex off, because of this Linken's.
He actually can't trigger Linken's because he has an Aghanims. So
yeah, that actually works against him in some ways.
He's going to have to swap it out in the fight when he goes on puck to break his Linken's. It honestly could catch someone off guard.
Oh. Did he do it there?
He did not do it there. That was the Hex.
All right, using a very powerful item to pop the Linken.
I mean, ideally you don't have to do that, but it could be something that...
All right, so that's something you're going to have to pay attention to, right? That's your job.
Okay, I got it.
That one's going to be really hard to spot. That's pretty next level if you actually.
Yeah,
does
that's nasty. Oh, Mikoto's deeping bottom. They're setting up on him though.
They are. Quinn and Seleri
Stolen
looking
board.
to go for the Tormentor, but instead they're going to come into the bot lane. They get the sheep onto Q. They've gotten this kill before. Does he still have buyback? No, this time he does not.
No money. Overwhelming Blink will be next for Mikoto.
Rat, rat, rat. All about delaying. I mean, it is 40 minutes in the game, but you are down 2 racks right now from Talon's perspective.
I mean, they need to do a really good job at ratting, because at this point now, if Gaimin ever get to your high ground, you're forced to fight. Like, there's no way you get to take 3 sets of racks while Gaimin only need to take 1. So you need to put up a defense on the spot. I would say this third Roche, at this point already, Talon need to talk about what they want to do about it. Because giving it up is, I don't think that's a choice. I think that might just be GG for Gaimin. If they do get the third Aegis, it's going to make the high ground push really simple.
Yeah. And there's 5 minutes left of daytime, pretty much.
And the 25
So-
talent on dyrachyo. It's a lot of damage.
Yep, he's a big juicy boy, some would say.
Indeed.
But yeah, this Roche will have Aghanim Scepter up in 12 seconds. And this will almost certainly turn into some sort of a Roche offense. Quinn trying to go onto this puck.
they got
a
it, Blink.
super hard
Hex.
target. They pop the Lincolns. They get the Split Earth after the sheep. What? Global Silence comes out, and Mikoto able to get to the other side. Illusory Orb to the other side of the trees. Actually expends his coil as well as Quinn continuing with the post nova, but can't get to the other side easily. Not as much mobility as this puck. And Mikoto
Will they
is
see him
going
on
to
the
be
Hawk?
spotted by the Hawk. Waning Rift, Illusory Orb. And Mikoto is going to be able to get out, but
Not
Quinn
Ollie,
finds
though.
some more targets. Both supports actually show up, and Ollie, he tries to TP out, will not be able to do so. dyrachyo in the mid lane. They see that Roche is up, and they will likely go for it, although 23 Savage.
Oh, they pinged him out. Quinn knows that he's there.
He's trying to pull a puck, pushing of the lanes and whatnot.
Oh, he has
This
no
would
TP for
be-
30 if they catch him.
This would be so bad for Talon. 23 Savage is
delivered.
spotted. Lincoln's is popped there. The instant Hex. 23 Savage gets
Relocate.
Split Earth. 23 Savage, he gets off the Sunder, trying to do as much damage as he can. He's using everything to try to stay alive, but he is
can't
going
do
to
it.
die. And that is meta down as well, no buyback.
dyrachyo is in the enemy
Absolutely
base.
enormous kill as dyrachyo. He got a full set of racks by himself. And now he's beating the shit out of the Rubik on the run. He's nullified right now. The BKB finally wears off. Will he actually
There's
stay
no
alive?
way.
There's nobody else near him as Jabz continuing to chase as a wolf. Nullifier applied again. Jabz rethinking it now that he's in pathetic human form. And somehow dyrachyo not only gets a lane of racks, he lives. They kill Terrorblade. They get the third Roche.
I hate to break it to you, but he did not destroy any racks.
What do you mean?
They were dead already.
From what? That's right. All right, we're getting old here. It's been a long week. Doesn't matter. All right? He's doing great things, Kazu. All right? That's right. They took
Well, that
two
is
rounds.
true. He made his
I
team-
literally watched them take 2 rounds.
You're such a dumb.
Why am I casting at a
Let's
tier
go,
1
Gaimin.
tournament?
Woo!
Jesus. 23K lead for Gaimin Gladiators, Aegis, Cheese, and who took the
Dyrachyo's gonna kill the mid racks again, guys. Watch him, everyone.
Who took the Ags? Oh my goodness. The
It's a dirty
demonic
one.
Purge,
I mean, it's-
Aghanim Scepter.
It helps you quite a bit.
You can use it on
but
2 targets. I mean, the break isn't super
The break isn't
helpful,
really
I guess.
good in this game. You have the dream called Pierce's immunity, but you're gonna. We talked about it earlier. They have double cheese as well. One on IO, one on SC. They have the Aegis on Lash. And this next fight is this might be one of the hardest fights Talon will have to take all tournament. Like this 25K down, you have 1 rack sub. You cannot split push anymore because Gaimin will just take megas, and they will not care if you're anywhere but in your own base.
Yep, not showing any signs of slowing down. Tier 3 is dead. Racks are exposed. Remember that mid lane was taken first, in case you're just joining us. As Gaimin Gladiators ready to get mega creeps. And this is going to be a really hard defense for Talon.
Okay, so meta got back up, but the Wolf form was just used. Luckily for Jabz, they have Spell Prism, but Still quite a hefty cooldown.
Yeah,
Mikoto's going to have to go ham.
Yeah, he's going to try. He's going to get the coil off, and they have to fight now. The 23 Savage popped that meta. He's going to get instantly hexed.
Good
dyrachyo. Good lift to save him. And the focus is on the supports, but the Crimson Guard keeping everybody safe and sound. And so much. I mean, they have 2 cheeses as well on the side of GG.
Are they just going to wait out the meta? Like, both the human transformation forms are pretty much used.
Yeah, Mikoto pushing out the mid lane, so Gaimin Gladiators have to make sure that they can actually hit the racks. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of damage being done to the Bristleback. The disruption comes out to save him as Quinn. He's taking a hefty amount of damage as well. Still has that Aegis intact, though. Remember that mid-rax is down, guys. Don't get confused.
Very important.
Savage, Lincolns.
Wait, he's losing meta in like 5 to 10 seconds, and the game didn't use shit yet.
They will probably go in now, I would assume.
I mean, they used
Quinn.
1 cheese.
Oh, he gets
23.
Oh, 23
Lincoln.
Savage, another great lift. And the Global Silence comes out. The Roar was actually stolen as well.
Oh, Mikoto with a
tOfu.
clutch play. He Lincolns the Roar, and then they stole the Roar even though it wasn't really ever used.
Killing the wave again. Rax still available for the taking. It's 23 Savage trying to find in melee farm. Pops his BKB. Not even doing that much damage though. The wolf form finally comes out and it's not back
Aggressive
online.
Thunder.
Ace getting super low. The nullifier party pulls the cheese and will live as now finally gets taken out. Seleri was linked up to him. He's going to buy back into the game now. 23 Savage getting lifted again. Barely going to survive, and now the buildings are in peril. They could just go for these buildings. dyrachyo has so much damage right now. 3 shots to range Rex. 1 remaining for Talon to defend. But they find the control on the puck. Mikoto dies. Does have buyback, has to use it immediately. So they've used both cheeses, I believe, on Gaimin Gladiators side, and they still have the Aegis for another 2 minutes. They get the bash on Mikoto accidentally. Lose your orb away, relocate to get some regen, I believe.
They're gonna come for round 2 as the Holy Locket Medallion, also the Martyrs played as well on IO. 30 seconds on the meta.
Yeah, you have to think that they will just focus on the melee racks now. 23 Savage.
It's gonna be a lift again.
It's already half HP, lift available for Q. Gets the Roar off though. The Stolen Roar used successfully. Nullifier now.
Thunder!
Onto Quinn. The Sunder comes out, but the buildings are gonna die to dyrachyo. That's mega creeps for Gaimin Gladiators. Remember, Quinn still has the Aegis somehow. Jabz getting bashed up, but gets the Lycan farm. We'll be able to run away from the big fat pig. dyrachyo and company in very good position to push this to game number 3. Lots of damage being applied. There's the Abyssal Blade. Down goes the Silencer. Buys back for 23 Savage. That's the more valuable kill. It's effectively a dieback. 80 seconds. No buyback for 90 gold, actually. If they just go pick up a bounty rune, he could theoretically get back into the game.
All right, Mikoto, you know what to do.
Up
It's
the left,
bounty
canceling
time.
the TP onto Quinn.
Still has the Aegis.
Aegis for another 30 seconds. As dyrachyo
Chop, chop.
going on top of Ollie. This one would actually be a
Kill the
dieback.
courier. There we go.
Have the vision though as Quinn finds a sheep onto the Lycan.
Buyback on
Gonna
23.
connect. The Global Silence comes out. TB is available for the side of Talon. They're gonna buy back on the Lycan instantly, and there's 23 Savage, the big bad Terrorblade, trying to save this game number 2 for Talon. They're gonna find the puck
Mikoto
again.
the bash!
Abyssal Blade after the hex is enough to control the puck. 23 Savage with a nice Sunder, but he is outnumbered. Telekinesis number 100 coming out from Q, but it's not gonna be enough.